give this a shot. So, this is the Meebro Man, and I'm gonna, or is it Mr. Meebro Man? It doesn't matter, close enough. I'll probably take both names. But either way, we're gonna be streaming Roadwarden. So let's just give this a shot. Undead are known by many names, such as the Awoken, the Hollow, or the Empty Ones. I don't think I started this game. Well, I did. I started it on my Steam Deck, but you need a keyboard for it, and it's just a whole thing, so it never really got too far. I'm on my computer this time, so hopefully that'll go a little bit better. I actually had this game for, I want to say, close to a year now, but I've just never really gotten started on it, which is a pity. It's always fascinated me. I hear it actually it's complete now. It's done. So they've it's actually on sale right now. I think for like $3.89, and thankfully it has royalty-free music, so I don't have to fiddle around with my settings too much to put on a different track for whoever's watching. Let me just make sure everything's good. Give it a shot. Everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk such a lonely journey. Roadwardens not only accept the struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn heathen corpses, and if possible, get rid of the beasts and the highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, but a respectable one, and it pays well. I leave the safety of the city walls, or I still have my doubts. I think we're good. Casual, standard, restrict. I'm not doing restrictive. I'd say standard should be fine. I haven't got around to making the, video about, my gaming background or whatever, but I'm decently versed in the RPGs. I've been around for a while. The wall is still standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood. Good signs. This should be the place you're looking for. You're supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sounds of labor. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. It may keep away the goblins and peddlers, but not beast folk nor trolls. And the night is near. Your palfrey breathes heavily. You had a long day. Let's see the options. I can look for shelter. I can look around cautiously. Let's see, dismount and get to the gate. Or get off the horse and decap briskly. Let's look around cautiously. Considering the noise, you doubt that anyone noticed the clatter of hooves. The short, dry grasses barely cover the arid soil of this valley. But maybe you're a minute away from the edge of the sparse woods, which gets denser as they climb up the hills. At best, this trail has a few more years before getting overgrown for good. Hard to believe it's the only route north. Let's see. Look for shelter. Let's peek inside. As a matter of fact, let me just pause this for a second. Give me 1 second, folks. Okay, I'm just making sure that my Twitch settings were up and everything. I'm still fairly new to this streaming stuff, so, Anyway, Your heavy boots hit the ground, and the pain of the long ride finally catches up with you. As you stretch out, bringing your back and legs comfort, all you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. With any luck, your axe won't be needed here. I approach the gate slowly. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space. The fire pit is cold. Two people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice a quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from the city harbor. Just go in. It takes him a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eye. His beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing decent, durable boots. A mace with a head covered in iron hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach for it. I take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gambeson, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaving as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are wary, yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sent here half a year ago, these two surely look the part. Though there should be more of them. 8, we believe. I guess I'll ask first. You wonder how to face your question. Let's see. We can be friendly, we can be kind of supportive, we can be playful. That's maybe a little too soon. Distance, intimidating. No, it's way too soon. Or vulnerable. I'm thinking friendly or distant. Start distance. There we go. I'm looking for. Oh, let me see the other option. Let me see what to say. So friendly. I was hoping to meet your lieutenant. Can we talk for a bit? Playful. I'm sure you're busy, so if you're just with your lieutenant. Distance. I'm looking for your lieutenant. Intimidating. I'd rather speak with someone who's not going to waste my time. Or vulnerable. I've had a long journey. I need to have a little word from you. We'll go friendly. That seems the most accurate for someone you're just meeting. Let's see. The woman lets out a loud sigh, dusts off her gambeson, and steps towards you. She pays little attention to the sword at her side. We most definitely can, you and I, though holding this rank is still somewhat new to me. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? She observes you with curiosity. Or are you looking for help? I'm your new Roadwarden. My house is waiting outside. My horse is waiting outside. Really, the soldier in the shirt leans forward. That explains how you got in here in one piece by yourself. Better bring your beast here, adds the lieutenant. We have no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. A long pause. I'm Tulia, by the way. She reaches out her hand. I can either meet her handshake with my own, or be worried about a trap. I'll take my chances. Should we keep his name? We'll go for the girl. Her grasp is confident. The shake is slight. Just keep your horse away from the tent. She steps away. We don't need to smell its dung. Very reasonable. There's this one issue. The soldier in the shirt also rises to his feet. We've no tent to spare. You either use a blanket or something. I'll say... I should get used to sleeping on the ground anyway. Check one thing. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also... Huh. That's weird. Okay. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky, as heavy as it is strong. You can get in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to the Dragonwood from the conquest in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your paw fray needs you to survive, but without it, you too would be lost. Let's see. I like my companions. It's my only companion here. I want to feel at ease. It takes a few steps towards you, scolding you for another snort. You scratch the bottom of its neck with strength and confidence, just the way it likes it. Humans see useful animals and even pets as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them will lead humans to their dooms. But you know that horses need companionship. Aw, that's adorable. You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine its back just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. You wish it had something better to eat than the shabby grass. You should look for an inn. You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine its back just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. You wish you had something better to eat than the shabby grass. You should look for an inn. I need to unpack. You haven't brought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. Worst of all, you have no rope left. Maybe the soldiers could share one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions essential for your trade. Okay, so the options we have are fighter, mage, and scholar. See, fighter, I spent my savings on decent combat equipment. I have a fine gambeson, an axe made of steel, a reliable crossbow with quarrels. As mage, I have talismans that help me use my powers, as well as an iron axe and a worn gambeson. Scholar, I carry writing instruments and alchemical ingredients, as well as an iron axe, a worn gambeson, and a small healing potion. Let's learn a little bit more about the class. I'm curious. Let's see. As a fighter, we'll have easier time in physical challenges, thanks to our superior equipment and bonuses during the dice rolls. We'll be more physically capable. That gives some different social options. Let's see. Fighters, they mostly use physical strength. If their vitality drops to 0, there's kind of luck. Let's see. Mazes use... Pneuma. Okay, that's interesting. This is... Okay, slight digression. The reason I actually find that kind of cool is... so I actually study a lot of philosophy, including Stoic philosophy. And pneuma is basically... what's the easiest way to put it? Actually, let's see what this says first, and I'll go back to that. The mage uses pneuma, a versatile but limited pool of energy, points that can be spent to cast a few humble spells. Magic won't protect you better than a sharp axe, but as a mage you'll be able to heal faster, detect magic, and distract beasts. You can also find a common tongue with other magic users. Using the mage's powers will result in having no pneuma left when you most need it. Yeah, like I was saying, pneuma is pretty, well, I don't know if frequent is the word you would use when discussing like stoicism. Like there's the stoic ethics, which you know everyone knows about, the virtue ethics and things like that. Pneuma to the stoics, I'm probably getting this sort of mixed up. It's sort of like the type of, we'll just call it like an animating energy or like the essence. I think it's sort of like the divine fire or wind or something like that. So it's like an animating force. Like most things tend to have a type of pneuma, with humans having like rarefied pneuma. That sort of explains how they can move and do stuff and like their higher level thoughts and things like that. It's a little bit more complicated. I have to sit here and think about it for a minute to remember the exact word. I haven't actually used that word in a minute. But anyway, the reason I thought that was kind of cool was I was been thinking maybe if I did some writing or wrote a book or something, I would use pneuma. So, well done. Anyway, see, the scholar will know more about the world's mysteries than you, helping you take advantage of some unusual situations. Your character will impress the locals with his knowledge, and you'll be able to read the sparse written clues without anyone's assistance. Scholars struggle with combat more than other classes, but with enough carefulness and exploration, you gain access to alchemical mixtures that will help you escape from many dangerous situations. We'll keep it simple for this test run. You unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced. The spare clothes are still here. Just in case you take... This inventory thing's in the way. Okay, just in case you take a look at your wooden bowl and mug, your cape, your tinderbox, bandages, food rations, knife. Nothing too special or too cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. Yeah, that's fair. I missed something? Yeah. She's focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can tell you less than I would like and less than I should. She nods towards the older soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 of them died, and 1 has run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land, as her companion. Damn, okay. Any piece of information may help me do my job. The man leans forward. His legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick. Whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard holds a much younger face than you originally thought. What do the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul covers this land. Might as well engage in a little small talk. I share what I consider to be relevant. You tell the soldiers how little guidance you receive. Since this area is too far away from Havlavan to keep it under control, you are warned it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, new people come here to look for boundless opportunities. Most of them never return. Do they turn to walking corpses or find what they're looking for? No soul could tell me, so I was looking for your guidance. Let's see. The lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? Let's see. Well, I'm curious about my predecessor. Any ideas what happened to the previous Roadwarden? Talia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him from almost half a year. The soldiers speak for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirmed that he had stopped by the camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The building soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife, without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, writes notes on that wax tablets of his. Yep, and leave it done. Unlike us, Asteria never gets bored. Tulia let out a joyous chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. I do not have the energy to do voices, and I don't know if I'd be I've been considering, maybe I should study voice acting from time to time. But that is not happening tonight. It's a little late, and that's maybe if I start hitting it off a little bit better with the streaming thing, I'll put in that kind of effort. To be frank, let's see. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in the basement. The man carves with passion. We haven't seen him or a saurian. Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. A saurian, like a dinosaur or something. I don't really know. I'm decently nerdy, but I don't know what that word would mean on this. Anyway, Richard Warden's often... Oh, okay. No, there we go. Richard Warden's often use four-legged meat-eating saurians as their mount. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but unlike horses, they can easily defend themselves from any monsters. At least your Palfrey is fast and reliable, and won't suddenly sink its teeth into an instant passerby. Do you know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message. Neither one of us had any insight into his dealings, says Tulia. Our predecessor left me no clues. We also took a look at Asturian stuff. Wait, she raises an open palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in the village know how Levant. I was planning to take all his things there. A pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions, quite a treasure. She glances at you, but I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of her sword. You've hired a messenger to ask commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We are meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us, tell us what you learned about the man, and we'll get back to Hobblevan together. You think about your real mission. You were planning to return to Hobblevan in early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all his possessions. That sounds like a personal problem, buddy. You had like a year and you didn't even bother to write a letter. True, but he's considered dead. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'd begrudge you anything. And who knows, you may just find a shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, uses a spear, mostly. Maybe 5 feet tall, but stout. Long red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. She glances at her companion, but after he has nothing, she sits down and stretches out her legs. So find out what happened to him. Dead, alive, left. Just let me know. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah, we were asking about a rope, weren't we? I lost my rope. Would you spare one? You're in luck. She heads toward one of the crate and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits down on her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. Thank you kindly. A fine rope. I take it and offer her some food in return. I have some food? Tulia leads forward and rests her forearms on her thighs, looking down with clasped hands, then meets your eyes. I normally refuse, but we need some decent food. Every day I'm searching through our groats looking for worms and putridity. We forage, but it's not a great spot. Some food rations will brighten up a foggy day. Let's see. What happened to your squad? The man shrugs. Bandits happened, and monsters. A strong band though, his companion strips in. When we got to this peninsula in spring, we saw some people living in his camp. The lieutenant decided to avoid it and look for an inn. We had to travel through the night for a bit. The bearded soldier scoffs and crosses his arms, but she carries on. If he had decided otherwise, we would all have died that day. The innkeeper explained that the camp is a trap, that the armed ones pretend to be soldiers. Stay there at night, lose everything you have. Ooh, jeez. Sounds like slave hunters. Tulia sighed, very much so. They carried some and took others away. Who knows where? They're letting the Northerners go, hoping to avoid their wrath. Interesting. It kind of worked at the soldier. We asked them for help. They refused. We had to clear the entire camp on our own, and that's why 3 of our people died. Don't exaggerate. It's not like the lieutenant didn't make a mistake. He wanted to get rid of them and take over their camp. But we didn't know our enemy well enough. We were outnumbered, and they had an ice mage among them. She looks at you. At least we cleared the road. Saved lives. Oh, that's rough. Well, I guess if nothing, we can know the North doesn't play about whatever it is that they're about. I guess we'll learn about them a little bit later. Or maybe it's in the journal. As a matter of fact, let me save this real quick. Alright, quick save. Actually, let's see. Journal. Maybe I'll look at this on my own time. Let's see. I'm curious. Northerners. I'm not going to bore you guys with this. We got a second. Emperors and empresses call themselves protectors of the 10 provinces and their tribes. The rural areas where the majority of the population lives rarely attach much weight to such claims. By the disappearance of the empress's wounded interior of the ground, it didn't end up in complete anarchy. The imperial court, even without an official leader, is a core religious institution of the United Church. It influences city governments, designing systems to maintain the loyalty of the chiefs and their taxpayers. To this day, the laws are signed in the name of the empress, and the priest stresses significance. This influence is strong in distant villages. Let's see. The pagan communities tend to completely cut their ties to the states to protect themselves from possible persecution from the knights. While the fellowship realize they in small communities to perceive the difference between the very village as a source of pride. Even the taxpaying, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so basically, this is a sort of empire where the empress, the ruler, died, but the mechanisms are still in place. So I guess they thought the slave traders thought that if they killed citizens of the empire, they would come over here and, rain hellfire on them. Okay, that's reasonable. See, medicine monsters as well. Nothing that would surprise you. Those of us who survived the skirmish were young, too experienced to spend the summer in this place without a good leader, and they didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a treant. Another one ignored my orders to perform some sort of ritual hunt, so a werebear tore it to pieces. Jeez. The last one tried to act tough, didn't tell us that he has cut his hand while cleaning his gambleston. She let out a ghastly chuckle. We had to cut it off, and he was so ashamed that he decided to walk north, find a new life, disappear. Idiot. What a colorful journey. The man tries to drink from his mug, but it's empty. Jeez, that's rough. Talia seems defeated. What's your squad's mission? Making the road safe, keeping people alive. I explained that may be important for you to know what they accomplished. I can't really tell you. Let's just say it would be nice to have a reliable outpost somewhere nearby. A place where you can always find a group of fighters willing to protect you in the name of the law. I don't feel like saying this one out loud. Let's see. Do I know anything about the Peninsula? Blah, 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 blah. 3 or 4 days away. That's the rocks. I feel like I'm going to have to play this one in bursts. Not because I don't enjoy the reading and things like that. I think that's great. But because I do not know if I have the energy to just read a line of text after text, or to say out loud line of text after text after text. Especially while I look for the most interesting bits to sort of riff off of. But I might mix it up for a little bit in a few minutes. Let's see. Also from the north. Oh, okay. Question. Am church, order of truth, my fellowship, a pagan. Okay, let's see. Like most city folk, I believe that people should unite their strength to overcome the threats of nature and dark magic. Everyone will be judged for both good and evil deeds. That's the line of the United Church. For many years, I've supported a monastery that does its best to advance mankind's spiritual growth, artistry, herbalism, and magical research. From the Order of Truth. There's a small village, freedom of shell, pneuma and soul, and the main virtues. My community is unique and independent, so are its members, so that's a fellowship. Let's see. Connection to nature spirits, follow the path of my ancestors. Some of my beliefs may be considered sinister and treacherous by the city folk. You probably call me a pagan. I'd say Order of Truth probably feels about better right now, so we'll go with that. Well, there's the last option. There's no evidence of the right's existence, and all the mystical tables are explained by magic. No, I'm not. Oh, I see. She hesitantly looks away. I don't know much about that river of faith, but I'm sure we're not that different. I'm a Unite myself, she says with sort of pride in my face. So she follows the United Church. People here are just quieting. Every few words, she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials here. No, the official here. She starts to draw a line with her index finger as if she's pointing at a visible map. The peninsula is connected with roads like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan, I don't think. It even has a priest who claims to be an ermite. You nod. She means a fellowship. They do crazy shit, her companion chimes in. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there. I'm kind of imagining them taking like a corpse and like fashion into an axe or something like that. Maybe they... Never mind. I see. You've heard tales such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddy their river of faith. I guess that's a common term here since the Tulia said something similar. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. Were you able to speak with these necromancers? You can see why we are not eager to go there if we can avoid it, the chicken chuckles. Maybe they'll be more welcoming to the Roadwarden. The roads are dangerous, with little or no shelters. People need your help. The man in the shirt turns a bit, pointing a finger to the northwest. If you're heading to the undead village, you get to an inn first, and soon, Plulia nods. Pell to the north is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeeper or the guards and ask about the road. Any monsters worth mentioning? We saw all kinds of beasts. Goblins, trents, cats large and small, runners, howlers, wolves, spiked boars, monfloon eaters, that sounds fancy. Griffins, but we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with most mounts. Tulia grants that her companion, though a palfrey should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting among themselves. They fight more for food than territory. The soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast. You just count on luck. So that's about the east. She stares up across the camp. Hard to tell. We went there only once. There are hills, forests, rivers. We saw a tunnel sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter. Wilderness all around. Okay, I think we're good for now. Tulia nods. She nods. I'm afraid we can't do more for you. Tulia, how did you become a lieutenant? That's not much of a story, honestly. She looks at her hand, which is currently mowing a rug over the table. In the city, there's a strict order of, what should I call it? She exchanges looks with her companion, but he can't help her. Well, leadership succession, I guess. Halfin chiefs select commanders, those select lieutenants, and those put their soldiers in order of priority. If a lieutenant dies, they get replaced by the next soldier in line. So you as his successor? Nah, not exactly. When we fought the bandits, our lieutenant was hit by a slingshot. His boyfriend jumped to help him, but failed to protect either of them from a spell. Oof. It was like a ball of ice that hung above them exploded, piercing their heads, completely avoiding their shield. Really unpleasant. She pauses. Oh, I bet. Jeez. And you were the third one in line, is that right? I'm not gonna give them the sarcastic one. Oh yeah, it was dumb to try and protect your thing. Nah. Basically, yeah, she says without enthusiasm. I didn't plan to become a leader though. I'll get demoted once we return to the city. I prefer to follow anyway. Alright, where would you go next if you were me? The soldier answers quickly. To the inn, of course. He grabs his empty mug. The one northwest from here. If you can't afford the room, the main hall is free of charge. The locals rather rarely gather there. The northern road is much more traveled, mentions Tulia, but the hunters will tell you about this and that, and you'll have a chance to introduce yourself. The innkeeper can listen and knows many souls. Any tips so I can make a good first impression on him? She smirks. Avoid cheap jokes, stick to trade, don't waste his time. Something that you can be relied on. I get it. I respect it. Keep it simple. It's getting late. We should prepare for the night. I agree. Tulia sighs with relief. And may you do better than Asterion did. Stay vigilant. She winks at you, shattering the mask of a soldier. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't quite remember who Asterion is. Oh, right. The original Roadwarden. I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, he's from EG3 crossover. Let's see. Thank you for your help. One more thing, if I can. The bearded man approaches you. Can you take the first watch? Spitting time between three people makes a great difference. You think for a moment. To fully rest, you need a good streak. I'll give it a go. I wonder if they're gonna actually tell me this guy's name. While I approve of the bearded man, the soldier, I'm fine with all those things. It avoids becoming too repetitive if you mix it up from sentence to sentence. I am genuinely wondering what bro's name is. Sure. Fabulously past your shoulder. Should be calm at least before midnight. Wake me up in a few hours or even earlier if anything happens. You go to the barrel and splash water on your face, which makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath. After the night, it will only get worse. Your horse is already napping, still too anxious to lay down. I prepare for my watch. The night's watch. The soldier in the shirt is eager to guide you. Just observe the area. There's plenty of griffins around. They won't try to jump all over the palisade. Probably. Better watch out for the apes. They climb up and carry out any food they can find. And there's this one really loud were-elk. Okay. I'll look at a picture of that later. That keeps smelling the wall, though it has never tried to get in. He points out a gate. The lieutenant and I will block the entrances. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes here looking for shelter, better call us to help you out. And if this someone is being chased by wolves or anything, better throw them the rope instead. He scratches his head. If it gets cold, feel free to make a fire. And the best place is on the watchtower. You may want to put a blanket there or something. The watchtower? Yeah, where is this watchtower? I can see it on the little map, which is, I imagine a modest representation. He gives you a long puzzled look. Oh, here, he points at the pile of crates. Just climb up to the tallest one. You have a great view at the northern side, the more dangerous side. And also, I know you're tired after all that riding. He points to the tent on the other side of the camp. I can handle a couple of hours sleeping on the ground. If you wish, go there after me and rest, just this once. At least I have a pallet inside. Well, let's see. Yeah. I'll smile. You put your blanket on the tallest crate and sit down. The night is warm, but the sporadic summer breeze brings back gentle refreshment. From time to time, your back aches, and you have to force yourself to keep your eyes open. The light of the moon helps you focus on the tall grasses. For most of the time, you spot smaller critters and birds, but there are exceptions. At one point, you see three-horned deer trying to challenge one another. Before they clash their antlers, a two-legged dragon appears, leading its much smaller offspring. The furry beast tries to intimidate the predators with roars and aggressive head movements. After a few moments, both sides walk away slowly, not willing to wish to fight, nor to admit their defeat. Yeah, that's pretty realistic. I don't let it distract me. I keep looking around. Let's see. You hear the death screams of distant prey and the maiden cows of monkeys. Runners are chasing a gray hare. A group of musk oxen lazily chew the grass, preparing themselves to sleep. A dust fox is running together with a lynx, making playful screeches. Thankfully, we never have to intervene. You just sit there watching the not-so-distant forest, trying to outlast your sleepiness. You can only guess how much time has passed. Once you feel you've had enough, you climb down and go to a tent, waking up the bearded man with just a couple of words. You confirm that nothing important has happened. Let's see, I gather my things and squeeze into the tent, cover myself with my cloak. Sleeping in a tent is not the stuff of dreams, but is a much welcome rest. The pallet keeps the cold soil away. The moonlight saves the outside world from an eerie gloom. You listen to your own breath and find a comfortable position. Your job starts tomorrow. I focus on the real goal. What is the real goal of my journey? Well, I guess that'll be revealed later. It sort of feels like everyone has their own. Well, that's pretty realistic, because I know Tulia has her own sort of secret motive. I guess it's to set up an outpost somewhere. And this guy is whatever he does. This guy is, he's not my player character. Whatever. Oh, you guys didn't hear that. That's my controller. I'm actually not using the controller right now because, it does work for here. Okay. So it just doesn't work in the same way as a mouse. Okay, cool. I was trying to get it working earlier, it didn't seem to, but here we go. The Merchant Guild wants to take control of this realm. Your wandering duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula. Learn about the territory, resources, and threats. Get to the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with Holloman officials and traders. Could the tribe resist the soldiers or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? Well, okay, that answered my previous question. Yeah, that's great, but now I'm like, well, I just had that whole little monologue for no reason. So it is sometimes. The Merchant's Guild. I have time, 40 days, I need to be thorough. Oh, Jesus. Click the button too hard. New shelter unlocked. Your half asleep senses are catching the sound of the wild forest. Your instinct keep you alert and anxious. The pleasant, humid late summer air evens it out slowly. You're thinking about your goal, but you need to gather your strength. All I can do now is rest. I'll be for sleep. Okay. You're sleeping in a borrowed tent. It'll protect you from the wind and rain. Yeah, okay. It's like it won't be super painful. Okay, cool. You're woken up by sunlight, well rested and ready. Without hassle, you gather your things. After only a couple of breaths, you notice a weird smell like a roast. Burning meat. Burning rotten meat. Distress calls into your consciousness. You exit the tent. Your horses look around nervously. Your bags where you had left them. You see an open gate. Both soldiers are staring near a humble pyre. The man in the shirt looks at it contemplatively. Tulia is the first one to address you. Mivro. She greets you with a nod. We use the horse's manure for the flames, so don't worry about cleaning it up. You see a corpse amongst the flames. It's impossible to tell if it belongs to a male or a female, but it wasn't a dote. The burning process won't be over for a couple more hours. Is it a traveler or an undead? The latter. A young one. She locked the pneuma to understand. Okay, yes. She locked the pneuma to understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing. I stabbed her with a spear from a safe distance. She shifts her weight. One more fog and she'd be a real threat. Even now, it took a couple more hits to knock her down. Okay, this is actually kind of cool. So earlier I mentioned something about the Stoics and Pneuma. Um, the more rarefied the Pneuma you have in the Stoic system, the more intelligent you are. So, like for instance, everything has Pneuma. It's some sort of like I said, I might be getting the words mixed up. I think it's divine fire or wind or something like that. It's been a while since I looked up the exact meaning, but everything that is physical has Pneuma. And then the more rarefied your Pneuma is, the more sentient you become. So humans have, extremely rarefied Pneuma. Cups have Pneuma, but they have no sentience. But in theory, if a cup were to have a sort of, super rarefied Pneuma, you could have a sentient cup. That's at least how the theory goes. So I guess the way that this system works is, well, I'm not. Well, no, I'll have a little fun here. So humans probably have Pneuma that sort of works in that same way in this world, where they have their the ability to think because they have rarefied Pneuma. They die, and their rarefied Pneuma probably vanishes, and I don't know. They sort of turn into some sort of shell, and then some sort of resurrected shell with their Pneuma slowly with their Pneuma slowly re-rarefying the more it eats people or something like that. Or this thing says something about fog, so I guess it sort of turns them into a zombie, gets rid of their sort of consciousness, and they sort of regain that consciousness, but not in the way that a human would. They just become a smarter zombie. Okay, that's cool. Anyway, digression over. Sooner or later, every human shell wakes up, gaining more strength with each soul devours, and each moment it spends in the fogs. Burning the dead is not just a religious practice, it's a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village mayors, even road wardens. Making a large pyre takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Tulia calls this undead a she. Most unites hesitate to do so. Okay, running away from the reek, huh? I don't blame you. She walks with you for a full step. Find us here if you need us. RP learned what happened to Asterion. There's enough ground for you to rest. Safe travels. These roads make you stop. An old farewell, mocked in a number of song and tales. But yet you hear no scorn in Tulia's voice. You wonder how many acts of kindness like this you're going to experience in the days to follow. She returns to the pyre. I prepare myself for the journey. Let's see, you somehow missed the fact that your mount is already saddled and warmed up. You double check the equipment, but you don't need to fix anything. The soldiers were diligent. Not only preparing any palfrey for a long journey takes a lot of time. Well, that was nice of them. You put on your gambeson and make sure your axe is tightly attached to your belt to get in the saddle. The palfrey knickers ready to leave. It's time for you to get across the roads north from here. Okay, so let's see something real quick. I was wondering if you could click on any of this stuff. Didn't seem so yet. Okay, travel forward for your journey. See, travel forward, continue for your journey. Once yours done with the Norse, speak to you and return the hollow then. Okay. Even an hour later, you wouldn't speak to meeting travelers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures your mount forward. With the serene chirping of birds is quickly replaced by the distracting screeches and gurgles coming from further down the path. You soon find a pack of four-legged griffins. The larger than foxes emerge as features of birds and furred beasts. Each one is a different size, coat, and colors, and their temperaments are just as varied. Their fonts are covered with vivid feathers, while the rears have dark fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they're too heavy to fly. Huh. Griffins normally fly, right? Pretty sure they can. Yeah, I'm positive they can, I think. Anyway, 2 dozen beasts there, yelling, brawling, and chasing each other around, blocking your path. These are my options. Let's see, you can't enter the forest blindly. If these other creatures were to chase after you, the thicket would be disastrous for your horse. There are reasons why travelers stay as close to the main roads as possible, and why adventurers move in groups. Usually, the safest approach would be to stay where you are and just wait for the pack to get hungry. It may, however, take up to a couple of hours. You're thinking about your conversation with Tulia. You got a lot to do, and time may be of the essence. If you have any vitality points, you can use the warrior's training to access unique interactions. Fuck it. Let's try to use the unique interaction. Force. Use it to violence or direct threat. I'm probably about to get my ass beat. Initially, I messed up, didn't I? Oh no, this is alright. Initially, a horse can completely trust your guidance, though after a few more steps it snorts. You prepare your axe and get ready to push away any griffin willing to jump on you. Once you get in the middle of the surprise herd, your mount squeals and gallops forward. The creatures in front of you flee, but others try to jump at you from both sides. You kick 2 of them away, while the third one gets closer. You kick 2 of them away, and while the third gets closer, third one gets close. Its beak lands only on your boot. The hard leather keeps you safe. You ride away, and the griffins can't keep up. You still hear their screeches when your mount slows down. I don't give them an opportunity to catch up with me. The road splits. According to what the soldiers have told you, you may find a safe end by turning left. The forest to the right is lush and the trail overgrown. Kids used to have this song. How did it go? The harshest pathway leads to the dragon's lair. Those who search for treasure, do you truly dare? The signpost in front of you doesn't make your situation much clearer. It was put here by someone who can't write for folks who can't read. Covered in old red paint, it points east. Blood there, as people say, danger to be found. There's not a soul to ask for guidance. Oh hey, at least they're doing their part to try and help. What is its name? What's name? The horse? We'll just guess. Is there a journal? Okay, cool. I'll scroll back later. I feel like there's some stuff on it. Name it. It's a girl or a boy? I don't know. After one of my dear cats. Sort of. Croxiel's peaceful as you stroke its mane. Maybe it can't help you choose a path, but you spent many years together. Happy to go on, it takes a couple of steps forward. You fought a few berry shrubs and wild cabbages, but they still need at least 2 weeks to gain maturity. I feel like they said west, but I don't remember. Okay, cool. Croxiel trots with ease, unbothered by the few branches covering the beaten road. The bird songs and distant howls drag your attention to the forest, which gets sparser and brighter. You spot boars, roe deer, and saurians. The sight of a nearby wolf pack worries you, but once you push your hips forward and your palfrey enters the canter, the beasts don't even begin a pursuit. The speed alone will protect you from any dangers. You notice a stone tower taller than the trees. Let's get the end. I figure this is a good place to stop for right now. we made it to the next part of the journey. I covered most of the basic information. There's not too much combat right now, which is fine. Like, I enjoy, the story, but I mean, it's kind of late and I want to do at least a little bit of hitting stuff. So we'll save. Okay, we're going to take a quick intermission. So I'll be back in a minute.